Can you talk on addiction and therapeutic process? I felt last night as I was disappearing, though this violent clinging is coming up. Addiction and the therapeutic process. I'm not an expert on that. I can give it a shot. Addiction and the therapeutic process. I think addiction is actually a physical thing. I think alcoholism is genetic. Actually, it's not a. It's. I think it can be caused in life, but I think it's heavily genetic. Addictive behaviors. And most probably added to with the seeking energy, like this belief that one day you'll arrive in that addictive behavior. But I don't think you do. I think most of the time it's like you believe you'll arrive when you finish the addictive behavior. I mean, I think a lot of the time if you're a drug addict or alcoholic or something like that, then it's just about taking away that pain of the present moment. And it's an addiction. Like your body is addicted to it, and then when you take it, it takes away your problems, especially if you're a drug addict or maybe alcoholic, because you forget yourself. So there's a part of it that makes you feel really comfortable with whatever's happening, because you don't know who you are. You've completely forgotten that you've got a life and kids, or you've got to do something, you've got responsibilities. You're like, that's all gone. But I think there is a very strong physical component with it. And I think, though, the problem with addiction is that it wrecks your body and it can wreck other people around you, because you stop participating properly in your life. And if you've got kids and a wife, or kids, or a husband and kids, or you've got a family that you need to support, how can you do that if you're drunk all the time? Your body becomes wreck and you become dependent on other people. It's very destructive in the family system. But I suspect that, so there's the genetic component, and then there's the sense of it. You stop existing when you're drunk. You can't be there. You can't think about yourself, or when you're high. So there's that element to it as well. There's something like a eating disorder. I'm sure there's addiction there, and then there's also this sense that one day you'll start your life when you're thin enough, or when you have a good shape, and it becomes a fixation. And then you're never going to start your life. Once you become slim, your mind will fixate on something else, or you'll kill yourself from becoming too slim or making yourself ill. I don't know if eating disorder is addictive. I know that bulimia is addictive. Addiction based. Yeah. So the therapeutic process, I think that something like AA works very well from people, from reading about it and understanding it in a limited way. I've heard that works really well for people. And there's a nice element to it, because it's, you see it's all God's will and you give it all to God. And if you've got a creative mind, then you can sort of put that with non-duality. You can see how that also fits with non-duality. And there's another speaker that teaches AA. His name is Paul Hederman, I think, and he's written a book on AA and addiction and non-duality. So if you do have addictive personality, that's something that you could read. Yes, like all addictions or obsessions, compulsions, it is truly about escaping from reality of what's happening right now and thinking that you have a lack of love. It fits perfectly with non-duality or AA, which is spiritual component. Lisa, what about feeling your body in love with yourself? Mahamudra, cosmic orgasm. I don't know about that. I don't know what that is. Masra, it sounds fantastic. I will take one of those. From what I know about tantra is, I think there's lots of different schools, but the essence of tantra is remembering that you are love, this emptiness that appears as everything, and that is home, and that's all you ever look for. And maybe that's what Mahamudra, cosmic orgasm, is knowing yourself. Hi, Lisa. Lisa, yesterday I was watching Muji, and it all lined up. I can see how nothing will ever work to fix me, and there is no me. Though this tremendous physical fear came up, and the mind has been talking me into trying to slow down and meditate and have therapy, etc., etc. As I still recently have been struggling with addiction, it is scary and doom, like, and hilarious at the same time. Yeah. Yes. If you're still struggling with addiction, I would, I think about doing something like AA and that type of therapy. If you've got an addictive personality, and it's very strong and it hasn't been treated, and you want to stop, then it's better to be around other people, I think, than to try and get this hardcore mind, like, I'm going to sit at home and I'm going to meditate and I'm going to slow down, and then you've got all the temptations around you to do it. Hi Lisa, I'm a long time in AA if someone ever needs support or information. Thanks Petra. Yeah, if anyone wants Petra's details, or you want to give your details to Petra so she can write to you, that's great. James, if you want more information. I don't have any problems. I drink my bottle of vodka every day without any problems at all. Hey Lisa, when in London is your London? Hi Lisa, when in December is your London event happening? Oh, I just meant an evening talk, not an event, just an evening talk. That would be the end of December, around Christmas time, when I'm back. How do I overcome the desire from porn? Been addicted my whole adult life and want to overcome it. This is how I would work, is first of all you have to really commit that that's what you want. Like, you have to be all in that that's what you want, is that you really want to give something up. Like, so you've energetically got to feel that. And then I would explore what it is that you like about it. Barry Long's got some nice videos out about sexuality and tantra. You could watch those. I'm not necessarily against all pornography. I think that it can be helpful in relationships, and I don't think there's anything wrong with exploring and having, like, I'm not this person that has really closed ideas about sexuality, like, but I also think if you repetitively are watching like violent porn or aggressive porn, then that can't be good for your brain or your relationship, because your partner won't excite you anymore, because it's like rewarding yourself by orgasming to this very heightened pornography and training yourself to like that. So your partner's body or the feel or the look won't be so exciting, which is sad for her as well. I think it's not so easy. I think you have to really like explore that subject, not yeah, that's something you'd have to explore. I'm happy to explore it with you. I have no qualms about exploring that, but obviously not publicly. I think it'd have to be a one-to-one subject. One-to-one, like a one-to-one session. Like, and you just gradually explore, you unpick things. So this is what I predominantly do in my sessions with people, is sometimes we talk about non-duality, but often what I'm doing is I'm helping people just unpick and get to know themselves and just have that reflection back to them. So it's like, well, why do you feel like that? Why do you behave like that? Why are you doing that? And just looking at it, but looking from a feeling body, and then seeing that actually what they truly want underneath all of that is just to be home right here now. They don't want this big orgasmic high. They just want to feel like they're at home. Like, what is it that you get out of it? Hi, Carol. I'm in a 12-step model. It seems such a personal pursuit, thus being hilarious. Yet another aspect is saying it's unresolved and needs to be honored. Yeah, don't give up AA. It's an addictive mindset that does, because what happens is you get into non-duality and you're like, I don't need that anymore, and then you start thinking about alcohol, and I've seen it happen lots of times. To addicts, it becomes another excuse. And yeah, it is a personal thing, but that's okay. If the person's an addict, it has to go and deal with being an addict. Non-duality is beyond that. People are like, yeah, non-duality isn't a personal thing. I'll just give up this. I'll give up being a father. I'll give up supporting this. I'll give up being a wife. I'll give up giving this. I'll give up and then the life becomes very chaotic. It's a false thing. It's the mind owning it. So behind addiction, this is from Judy, is some deep emotional feeling that you're avoiding, and it's also a personalized thing, but it also, I think, is genetic as well. There's this two things. There is the seeking energy that believes that can't bear being present, can't bear what's happening and needs a high, or believes that when it achieves it, it will arrive. Those are two things. Jacqueline says, no, alcohol is not a biological requirement, obviously. Actually, Jacqueline, I think it's not a requirement, but our ancestors used to eat rotten fruit off the floor. Silly ancestors. So humans do have a tendency towards alcohol addiction, as in monkeys and some other animals and mammals as well. I can't remember all of them. I think even some birds have an alcoholic tendency. I think that we have a genetic tendency towards it. I could be wrong, but there's just from research or information that I've gathered, I haven't actually physically tested bodies for it, but it made sense that we ate rotten fruit and therefore have a tendency towards alcohol. But it's not a requirement, we don't need it, but this is where the addictive behaviours come in, where it becomes genetic. And I also have some friends of mine whose parents are alcoholic, and I know that they also struggle with the tendency towards alcoholism. And monkeys apparently can be alcoholics as well. Who would have thought? And birds, I think it's birds, and some other mammals, but I don't know. I mean, all this scientific information, they'll discover something else which will prove everything wrong. I'm open to I don't know as well.